Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Uh, Tuesday today. So happy Tuesday, and hope you're all having a great start to the week. Still a start because Monday was just yesterday. Um, I'm just trying to make sure that my connection is up and running and everyone can hear me somehow. Um, so hopefully you can all hear me. Um, and yeah, I think I'm now live on LinkedIn and on YouTube. Please say hello, where you're joining from, and your name. Um, and if you're new here, my name is Fatema El-Wakeel. I am a data strategy evangelist. Basically, I'm so passionate about data strategy and emerging tech. So, in my podcasts and my live videos and on my posts, I do share a lot of knowledge about data strategy, emerging tech, and how to create a career in that area. So, hopefully, it'll be useful. And yes, I am super passionate about it. And with that, I think comes today's topic about agentic AI. So I've been attending several conferences, chatting with a lot of leaders in the industry and academics as well. And one of the, I wouldn't say new terms, but I think I can say new terms, is agentic AI. And with that, I thought I'll just have today's episode really to chat more about it, explain it. Uh, it's just basically figuring things out, right? Because this is the podcast. So it is Figure It Out with Fatema. And I'm figuring things out and I'm helping others in the area as well to figure things out. So we'll figure out together what is agentic AI, how organizations can use it, and how to create a data strategy that supports it. Because without data, there is no AI. It is built on top of AI. AI is built on top of data. So with that, let me first of all start explaining what is agentic AI. So over the past few years, we've moved very quickly and used so many terms. We've started with predictive AI, or the AI in general, which is basically decision making, forecasting. It's putting data in and asking AI to create forecasts and suggestions and recommendations. And then we moved to generative AI, which is another type of AI, which is basically more creating content, designing things, and even creating codes. So it is something that generates an output, basically, which is the generative AI. Now we're moving a step ahead. So AI is maturing and we're moving to agentic AI. And with agentic AI, it moves towards more autonomy and giving this kind of reasoning and feedback to the AI. So you can say that it is shifting from a tool to really a collaborator. So the AI is no more a tool that we are using as humans, but it collaborates with us because it can plan, it can make decisions, it can book rooms in meetings. And instead of actually having it, so I always think about like, yeah, AI even as a co-pilot, it's not a co-pilot anymore. It's not driving with me or helping me drive. It is actually, it's my co-worker. Like AI is my co-worker. I work with AI and doesn't just answer my questions. It actually helps me draft follow-ups in book meetings, and it helps me do my job by being that good co-worker, and it helps me live my life by being that co-friend. I don't know, that helps me plan holidays and have agendas for holidays and training plans and fitness plans and health plans like food and nutrition. So I think with agentic AI, what I'm trying to say here is it's not generative AI anymore. It doesn't just generate the outcomes. It actually acts with human based on the human instructions that I add. It has memory, so it does learn, and it can reason, it can think, I think, and reflect and make those decisions and act. And I'm trying to think how to compare the old AI to the agentic AI here. And the way I would look at it is agentic, like the normal AI would be something like, it's like a calculator where you input the data and then it provides, you're waiting for that. It waits for the input, you put the input in, and then it provides you an output. While the generative is more of a prompting thing, and then the agentic is really a proactive colleague. This is how I think about agentic AI. But let me know also in the chat if you've used agentic AI, if you have any experience with it. I'd love to hear your thoughts and if your organization is using it or heard of an organization that uses it. So share with me those thoughts. As I said, say hello, tell me where you're joining from, and if you have any questions. So, sorry, I'm just trying to see if I have any messages here. Cool. So we spoke about the different types of AI. Let me give you an explanation or an example at work. So if you think about agentic AI, one of the great examples or use cases would be a marketing agent. So think, as I said, think about agentic AI now as that agent, as that coworker you have. So it's your marketing coworker, your marketing agent. And with that, that agent can monitor campaign, can see the progress of the campaign. And if that ads campaign, if that is not performing, it can literally make a decision and stop it or reallocate budget to another campaign immediately. And it will explain to you why it did that. So think again, back to it. That agent, that agentic AI, that AI marketing agent is actually your coworker. So you come and say, well, you know what? I reallocated the budget, moved it from that campaign to that campaign because X, Y, and Z, and this is why I've taken that decision. But you've programmed it somehow to be able to think and take decisions. Another great example in business with agentic AI is supply chain. And supply chain is always like a great example when it comes to emerging tech, whether digital twins or AI and think about that supply chain agent who can actually reorder, reroute, and depending on weather, on stock, on supplier constraint. So basically you have a supply chain coworker that is helping you make the right decision to support the business. So those are examples of agentic AI. So I think so far what I've done is I've explained a bit, or we figured out what is AI versus generative AI versus agentic AI, how it is in the business. The bit that now I would love to focus on is data strategy. Because if you don't have the right data strategy, you will not be able to build that fancy agent. Agentic AI is built on trusted data. It's built on governed data. So to be able to build that AI, you need to have proper data that is tagged, defined. The semantic model needs to be very clear to be able for it to connect those dots and make the right decision. The last thing you want is to have an AI that's making a decision based on wrong data. Again, the last thing you want is to have an AI agent that makes a decision based on wrong data. So data strategy, think about it this way. It becomes the infrastructure for your AI. If you have the right infrastructure, you have the right AI built on top of it. If you don't have the right infrastructure, your building is very weak. It can fall apart at any point. So without this right data strategy that looks into the data, looks into the business cases, looks into, do you need to maybe link AI with other emerging tech like digital twins, for example, which I think by now I'm quite passionate about it. So really, without the right data strategy in your organization, you will not be able to enable agentic AI, not generative AI, not any AI. Okay, so, but also one of the very important parts of emerging tech and AI, and I guess also data strategy, is governance and ethics. Because part of your data strategy is your governance, is your ethics. Who has access to what? Are you implementing the right ethics, the right governance across the right countries? Who's accountable? So with agentic AI, it's kind of forcing us to think about accountability. Because if you have an agent, who's now responsible for it? Is it the person who built it? Is it the person who's using it? Who owns the outcome? Or is it the organization? So if something went wrong, who's responsible? If it's not governed properly, it is very, very risky. So again, it's all about governance. So I'm trying to, I've had some notes, and I'm just trying to make sure that I'm covering some of those notes, because there are some topics that I want to make sure that at least I cover today. So the other thing is, so if I'm speaking about agentic AI, so I've explained agentic AI, trying to figure it out. We've explained business examples. We went through the data strategy, including the governance. And now, is your organization even ready? This is something else. If you're implementing AI and agentic AI, one of the important things that organizations need to think about is that it's not just a tech evolution. It's a cultural one. That coworker that's kind of sitting there virtually is helping me to be able to have this understanding that that coworker is helping me. It's a great tool. The digital maturity and the acceptance of using tech. This is a massive organization change and readiness. And very few. It's similar to generative AI. Some people delved straight in, and some organizations were super successful, while some organizations are still struggling because employees, they don't want to embrace it. So it's part of it, if I think about it as well, is the individuals and the culture of saying, now it's a different skill set. It's not about the team or a member doing something. It's co-creation with tech, which is super exciting. Like for me, I'm super excited. But again, this is a change in the culture. So I think, to wrap things up, because I'm just aware of time and I'm looking at the time here, agentic AI is such an important topic. And I'm hoping that with today's session, I was able to demystify it a bit, explain the difference between AI, generative AI, and agentic AI. I gave a bit of examples from the organizations, linked it to data strategy, explained how it is linked, including the setup of the data itself, the governance, and obviously also shed some lights on the culture in the importance of creating that, which is still part of the data strategy, by the way. So culture is part of the data strategy, governance is part of the data strategy, tech is part of the data strategy. And if that's all not linked together, can be a bit of a challenge. And ethics, obviously, which is super important, especially if we're starting to speak about AI. Well, in general, really, with data, it is very important. So what I'll leave you with today is really just the thought of what can you do to make your organization super successful and embrace agentic AI? And what can you do personally to use that as well in your own world? So part of it is, yes, we work in great organizations, but also how can we utilize that tech as tech people and as leaders in our personal lives? Because once we test it personally, we would be able to actually get more usage in the organizations because we know how it is applied. We know the importance of it and we've embraced it. So this co-creation I was speaking about, we're actually doing it in real life. And with that, that's a bit of a long session today because normally when I'm alone without any other guests, it's normally like 10 minutes. I've been going on for like 17 minutes now. But it is such a great topic. And maybe I should actually do another session as well to explain it more. But let me know your questions. Do you have any questions for me? Anything that you would like me to kind of maybe delve into? Any questions that you have about data strategy, emerging tech, or a career in data, let me know. And with that, I wish you a great evening and I'll speak to you hopefully soon in the next live. Till then, take care and have a great data strategy and emerging tech career.